Okay, so dear student, this is mathematics for biotech lecture. Okay, so just give me 1 or 2 minutes. I'll start in a while. Yeah, so this is maths for biotech. Now, of course, there are going to be 2 or 3 different topics, but what I am going to do, I am going to concentrate on calculus. Okay. So what we have to learn in calculus? We have to learn 3 major concepts. One is called as the function. The second is called as limit of the function, or limit of a function, let us say. And finally derivatives. These are major concepts. Okay. Within function, we are also going to learn graph of function. Graph of a function. I am going to make the things as simple as possible for you. Okay, I am not going to make the things difficult for you. In fact, calculus is regarded as one of the most difficult branches in mathematics. But anyway, we will be as simple as possible. Okay, so let us start with the idea of function. Before I do that, let me just give you some idea that calculus deals with variables. Variable is something whose value is not constant. So if I write number 2, 2 is a constant. We know 2 is 2. That's not going to change. 10 is 10. That's a constant. But then if I consider our age is not constant. Every now and then it is increasing. So right now I may be 46 years and some 10 months and some 4 days, let us say. Tomorrow it will be 5 days, again 6 days, 7 days, and so on. So actually age is increasing. Similarly, if I consider time as such, time is not a constant, it's a variable. So let us suppose that you are going from one place to other, say from Mumbai to Pune. Suppose you are going like this with some train. And then if you consider the speed of the train, that is instantaneous speed as we say, speed is not constant, it will go on changing. For some time it may remain constant, but then there might be yellow signal, there might be red signal, there might be some station coming. Sometimes you may get several green signals one after the other, so the speed may go on increasing also. So in general, speed is not a constant. Okay, so there are so many quantities in nature around us and related to us which are not constant, which are variables. Okay, so calculus deals with all these variables. So now I want to introduce the idea of function. Okay, function. So function is basically a relation. Function is some particular relation. So what is the peculiarity of this relation? Particular, when we say what exactly one should have. See, in schools you have learned the concept of set, and then you must have denoted the sets with some such kind of symbols. This I can call as set A, this I can call set B, right? And then let us consider one example that in set A I have got all the students in your class. Okay. And then in B I am writing all possible names. जैसे विराट नाम है, मेरा नाम सलील है. You have got some names, Ram hai, whatever it is. So if I consider all names in set B, okay, and now you can see that suppose I consider this fellow, it will have some name. That name will be available in set B because set B contains all possible names. उसमें जॉर्ज भी है, उसमें अब्दुल भी है, उसमें राम भी है, अमर अकबर एंथनी, सब कुछ है, everything is there. Fine. So this fellow, whatever I am selecting from this in your classroom, this will have one particular name, unique name. So I can associate this fellow with that name, something like this. Suppose this is the name of that fellow. Similarly, if I go for second fellow, so suppose I consider this fellow. Again, this will have one unique particular name. So this fellow can be associated with that particular name which is available somewhere over here, and so on. And then that idea I can go on I can go on extending. Maybe suppose I talk about this fellow, even the third fellow also, it will have one particular name. So everybody in set A, I repeat, everybody in set A, this everybody is very important. यहाँ पे मैंने 3 लोग दिखाए, that's fine, but you can understand that everybody in set A is getting associated with exactly one element in set B. ये जो रिलेशनशिप आपके सामने दिख रही है, such a relationship is called as functional relationship. So this relationship, this relation or relationship is called functional relationship. And in that case we can say that there is a function from A to B. So usually whenever I want to denote a function, okay, usually people use symbols like F or G or H, something like that. You will find the Greek letter phi also is being used sometimes. So how do we write whenever I want to say that there is a function from A to B? I write it this way. Suppose I call this function as f. Some notation I want to give. So suppose I call this function as f. Then I say that f is from A to B. F from colon A arrow B. That is f is a function from A to B. Now some of you might have this kind of doubt also. Okay, agreed. Now can we just reverse the things? For example, suppose I consider B over here and suppose I consider A over here. B here, A here. B contains all possible names. Okay. See, you can understand there are thousands and thousands of names because all over the world we are considering every possible name. Even Bunty, Pappu, Chikku, whatever, everything. Okay. And in set A contains all the students in your class. Right. Now the thing is that suppose I consider one particular name over here, say this name. Can I associate that with some unique person in A? Now there is a problem. The problem is that suppose this whatever name that means I am considering over here, if there is nobody in your class, ये जो आपका class है set A, if there is nobody whose name is this particular, let us suppose that the name of this name whatever I am considering is say Ravan. Ravan is a name that we know. No, usually in India we don't find people giving name as Ravan, Jarasandha, Bakasur, Hidimba, दुर्योधन, दुशासन ऐसे नाम नहीं देते, but actually ये नाम यहाँ पे तो है, set B में तो available है सारे नाम. So if Ravan is that particular element, can I associate Ravan with anyone? The answer seems to be no. Usually you may not find. And there is a possibility if there is a name say Ram over here. There is every possibility that there might be two fellows with name Ram. तो ये जो बंदा है means this Ram gets associated over here also and over here also. See that there are two problems. One problem is that in set B you will find several names which cannot be associated with any person in A, and then there can be some name which is getting associated with two different people. So there are so many problems over here, and hence although there is a relationship, I cannot call this as functional relationship. I cannot call this as a function. यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है? Again, please try to understand this. Every person in A. Let me write down that. Every person in A gets associated with exactly one name. ये दोनों बातें important है. कहीं भी गड़बड़ हुई तो भी फंक्शन नहीं है, विथ एग्जैक्टली वन नेम इन B. In that case we say that there is a function from A to B. Okay, so we will stop over here. We will discuss some more functions in the next lecture, so you will get some better idea. Okay, thank you so much.